Yeah, yeah, big.
While we're waiting to get started, as I welcome everyone to this event, I'd like to request that you kindly rename your devices with your first name and your last name. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, great alumni of University of Benin. This meeting is now called to order. Again, my name is Rumundaka Wonodi. A member of the formerly caretaker committee of UBAAA. And on behalf of the caretaker committee, now the initial board of directors of University of Benin Alumni Association in America. It is my honor to welcome everyone to this inaugural meeting of our new association an association that came about out of necessity to maintain integrity among alumni body, to create a platform for UNIBEN alum who want to come together on a platform of equity, justice, integrity, to serve fellow alum, and then our alma mater, University of Benin. It's been a journey of about 8 months, very touchous journey, where we all came together striving to put UBAAA on the right track. But unfortunately, some elements thought it wise to chart a path of perdition. So this body came together, everyone here agreed that it was necessary to leave that toxic environment and come together to build a new association with a vision of inclusivity, respect for members, truth, honesty, justice, equity, and all values that are desirable in an organization like this. So once again, on behalf of the new board, I welcome everyone to this inaugural meeting. We have an agenda, and I would like and ask the facilitator to share the agenda for everyone to see. Thank you.
At this time, the agenda has been spotlighted.
I would ask the facilitator to take number 2 item on the agenda, housekeeping.
Thank you all for joining today's inaugural meeting. In order for us to have an effective meeting, we would like to ask everyone to kindly, at this time, rename your device with your first and last name so that we are able to identify everyone correctly. Would also like to ask that throughout the meeting you stay muted unless you are the active speaker. If you do have a need to speak as soon as you finish, please mute yourself back. There will be a time of elections and voting. At that time, we are going to use the electronic Zoom capabilities of the polls and the raise hands as needed. The chair will guide us on how we will proceed at that time. We also would like to appeal to everyone that in all our deliberations, in all our contributions, we try to stay as respectful as we can. We welcome you all to this General Assembly. Mr. Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we want to look at adopting the agenda. Is there any comment from the body on the agenda, or is there a need for an amendment, or do we just move to adopt it? Sorry, I'm getting. I just got a side message. Someone is asking whether there is a need to re-update and recount how we got here.
I want to mention that in the chat area, I did post the copy so that if you are reading it, they do have an access to it. It's already posted in the chat.
Okay. So that would come under the update. All right. So we then need to adopt the agenda. Do we have any motions to adopt or to amend? It's open to the floor. You could raise your hand, and then we would. I see a hand that is raised. Yes, Bob Egbe.
Yes, sir. I was just looking at the agenda. I think can you please share screen again?
Is it me or is it Bob's audio?
I believe it's his audio.
Oh, you can hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah, yes, now.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
I believe you have the wrong agenda up, Dr. P. Can you look to the latest agenda that was proposed?
As sub items, this is the agenda. I think you're concerned about item 6. There are sub items for item 6.
Oh, okay. But the people who are looking at it will not know that. Can we please highlight what they are? That way it is transparent enough for people to say, yes, they want to adopt or not, or amend if necessary.
Give me a minute. Let me make sure that we have those sub items. So this will be the breakdown of item 6. Is this what you're referring to?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay. So now that this is being put out, is there any motions? Chief Jones, your hand is up.
So much time. I hereby move a motion that we adopt the agenda so we can move on.
Very good.
Very good.
We need someone to
say.
Yeah, we need someone to second the motion. I can see that John Kadiri.
Yes, thank you. I second the motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Okay. Thank you very much. I would hereby invite the secretary of the board.
On that side. I'm still gonna go that way.
Yeah, to present us with the summary of the last meeting. Ms. Ngozi Obi had indicated that she might not be available to undertake this. So I'm inviting whoever is acting, I believe Mr. Lionel, to
Okay, thank you.
On her behalf.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ngozi is unavailable to read the minutes, so I'm stepping in to read the minutes for her. The last meeting that we had was in February 25, 2024. It says to all UBAAA members and community from Caretaker Committee, post EGA meeting update. On behalf of the Caretaker Committee, we want to thank you for attending the Extraordinary General Meeting EGA of February 24, 2024. This is summary of the action taken. The minutes from the December 9th meeting is amended to Resolution 3. The Caretaker Committee should explore and present options on moving the association forward. Then the three options and recommendations were presented at the Caretaker Committee's work, represented our deliberation with Council. First deliberation, remain in UBAAA, wait out next election cycle. B, that's A. B, dues must be paid to national body in order to vote in next election. C, next election will be during the 2025 reunion. Resolution 2, form a new parallel organization. A, elections will take place on March 2nd, change to March 9th. Submit names and nominations to Secretary Ngozi. 3, C, new executive escrow will be voted in and will work to move the new organization forward. 3, go to court and seek an injunction. A, financial outlay needed to pursue the option. Money will be needed to be raised. Money will need to be raised. Sorry. B, it may prove time consuming. C, uncertainty of the outcome exists. Finally, after a meaningful discussion, voting was taken on each. Motion 1, remain in UBAAA. 80%, that is 20 out of 25 respondents voted no. 20%, 5 out of 25 respondents voted yes. Motion 2, form new parallel organization. 81%, 21 of 26 of respondents voted yes. 19%, 5 of 26 of respondents voted no. Motion 3, go to court and seek injunction. 93%, that's 26 out of 28 of respondents voted no. 7%, 2 out of 28 of respondents voted yes. Elections for a newly formed organization will take place in 2 weeks' time on Saturday, March 9, 2024 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The nomination form for the upcoming election will be posted to the chat shortly. Members are asked to complete and submit the form by March 5th to Ngozi. More details to come. Signed, Ngozi, General Secretary, Caretaker Committee. Followed by Caretaker Committee members, Umudaka Wonobe, Bob Ebe, Ditujo, Richard Mamadou, Austin Federer, Lionel Sarai, Tim Mosier, Nandi Mandoke, and Ngozi. That's it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lionel. The next item is adoption of the minutes. The floor is open for comments or motion to adopt the summary minutes as presented. Yes, please, the floor is open. Okay, I can see Mr. Paul Omukoro.
Mr. Chair, in the absence of any objection to the summary of the minutes as read, I hereby move for the adoption of the minutes as read.
Thank you very much. Any secondment? I can see Obi Moneke. Yes. Obi Moneke, you have the floor.
No, sir, I was just seconding. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, we need someone to either second the motion or
Miss Obi
That's
Monica
what I did.
just did.
oh, is that what she did? Okay, all right, thank you very much. So the next item on the agenda is from the mandate of the last meeting, the election of election slate, presentations and candidates by then elections. I would invite Bob Ebe to handle this, but just a brief update because I think we needed to present this, which is that based on the mandate coming from as read in the minutes, the caretaker committee went on to explore the registration of the new platform. And we did that. It's called the University of Benin Alumni Association in America. And it was incorporated in the state of Maryland. And the caretaker committee members, eight people, signed up or had to be represent as the initial board of directors. The Maryland is switched from trustees to directors, so that's what we have. It's not a 501c corporation yet. That application needs to be done through the federal. It's got to be done federal. It's not a state incorporation. So that's what we have. And the expectation is going forward that the new executive will pursue the 501c registration. So that's what we have now, University of Benin Alumni Association in America. And on behalf of the board, I want to say congratulations to everyone who has supported and piloted it to this point. So I will invite Bob Ebe to take care of item 6 on the agenda.
Mr. Chair, with your kind permission, I'd like to make an announcement. I'd like to remind everyone that is just joining us that we do have some guidelines, and the most important guideline is that you please identify yourself with your first and last name in this meeting. I do have a person whose device says iPhone. I have sent a reminder to the person via chat to identify. We will remove anyone in the meeting who does not identify themselves after this announcement. If you wish to stay in the meeting, you have to have your first and your last name as your Zoom ID. Thank you so much. Dr. Egbe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. My assignment this evening is very simple, just to guide the process of the elections. I can report that the 6 offices that were opened for officers, that we got 1 candidate each for those 6 offices. And that includes the office of the president, the office of the vice president, the office of the secretary, the office of the assistant secretary, the office of the treasurer, and the office of the financial secretary. The nomination forms were reviewed by the caretaker committee, and as we have it, all of the candidates are qualified to run, and that is what I can report to you. We're going to, at this point, display the names and the profile of the candidates for those offices for your attention. We will start with the president and go on to the financial secretary. Madam Moderator, can you please start with that?
Mr. Ife Ekunife, is he in the house? Would you like for me to spotlight him?
That would be nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There was also 1 candidate for vice president.
Would you like for me to spotlight the candidate for vice president?
Yes, ma'am. As soon as I announce them, this spotlight.
Okay, so I'm bringing you back up. Okay. Should I display all of the names or wait for you to announce them one after the other?
Well, I think we'll save time if you just go ahead and display all of them. Go ahead.
So these are the names, and I yield to you.
Thank you very much indeed. So we have Mr. Ife Kwenufe Esquire running for president. We have Mr. Paul Mukuru running for vice president. Ms. Pauline Inegbedion running for secretary general. Kingsley Nwaboku running for assistant secretary. Kingsley Ero running for treasurer. And Anamaka.
I'm sorry, can the candidates please put on their videos so that we can spotlight them?
I mean, it's okay. We'll go ahead now. So we can save time. The candidate for president, so please speak to us. We're going to be spending about 5 to 7 minutes information. So please speak to us about who you are, and why you want to do this route of helping us as president over the next. We can at the same time. Can you please create a profile? Please.
We don't have the profile.
We don't.
No, sir. It wasn't sent.
Okay. Mr. Akenife, the first.
President Egbe, I'm not sure I got all the instructions that you gave there. Your audio was coming in and out. Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of the former caretaker committee, now board of directors, on behalf of every alumni here present, I'd like to say a big thank you for delivering on the promises you made on the outset of this journey and allowing your belief in justice and fairness to bring us to this juncture. President Egbe mentioned, my name is Ife Ekunife, and I'm running for the position of UBAAA president. A few things to know about me. My paternal family is from a small town in the Aniocha North local government area of Delta State. There's a small village called Onitsha Olona. And my maternal family is from the Sokomba area of Benin City, Redo local government in Edo State. Graduated from the University of Benin with a Bachelor of Law degree in '89. Got to the Nigerian bar the 15th of November, 1990. I worked with the Human Rights Division of the Nigerian Bar Association in Victoria Island prior to coming to America. I currently live with my family in Chicago, and I work as a real estate developer. I joined UBAAA in 2014, possibly 2013, and I was instrumental to the formation and registration of the Midwest chapter. I served 4 years as the founding secretary of that chapter, returning again to occupy that position for another 4 years to ensure continuity. I attended both Chicago reunions, the Philadelphia and Dallas reunions. Before I say a few words about where I believe the direction of this new association should be, I'd like to commend all the members, all the alumni who stepped forward in service of this new association by submitting their nomination papers, even when they know that these positions are largely unsung, unpaid, and are going to be under, quite frankly, considerable scrutiny. And the positions are going to be especially demanding in the first few months, possibly in the first few years. I really want to thank you for rising to the occasion in spite of this knowledge. Now, we all know that an association that is plagued by willful disregard for the provisions of the Constitution and bylaws, where there is a lack of transparency and accountability, where intolerance is allowed to thrive, and executive committee members act like autocrats with impunity, will not flourish. Such an association will, in the end, fail. With that realization, my vision for the University of Benin Alumni Association in America, or UBAAA, or UBAAA, is as follows. I believe we need to build and grow a UBAAA that operates on the principles of fairness, common decency, mutual respect, one in which every member has a voice in the direction and administration of association affairs. We must provision for, we must come up with a draft constitution and bylaws that regulates every aspect of association affairs. We must ensure that no areas of our business or our activities are left open to misinterpretation or abuse. We must strive to build an association that respects the rule of law, that practices due process, that tolerates dissent, and that operates within the confines of its constitution and bylaws. To ensure transparency and accountability in all association affairs by ensuring openness in our methods, and by publishing updates and reports about our operation and pursuit. I believe that is essential. To achieve that goal, a quarterly report or state of the association, if you will, should be presented to the body on a quarterly basis. We should probably take it a step further by saying that such a quarterly report should be presented to the association by way of a constitution-mandated Zoom General Assembly meeting. We're talking about 4 meetings in a year. Those quarterly GA meetings will be in addition to an annual report presented at our annual reunion. We should always remember, whatever it is we do here, that the driving force behind the creation of this association is beyond networking amongst ourselves. That's important. But it is primarily an opportunity to give back to our alma mater, the University of Benin. To achieve this goal, I believe setting up an endowment fund with a clearly defined purpose and with multiple signatories, with significant control to prevent unapproved usage will be necessary. We must create an interactive website and have a viable, responsible social media presence. And we should ensure that mutual respect and common decency are observed in our discussion forums. And finally, to the extent that we do not compromise on our principles and convictions, we must be ready to embrace and accept into our fold all well-meaning UniBen alumni, be it new graduates or other alumni looking for a new home on this side. I do not pretend that the road ahead is going to be easy. It won't be. The ESCO is going to have its work cut out for it. They will certainly encounter obstacles as they move along. And a lot of personal and collective sacrifices will be required. However, if given the chance to serve as your president, I intend to lead an effective committee that will not be deterred. I promise I will not shy away from making the tough decisions that are needed to achieve our objectives. Great UniBen.
Thank you very much for the clarity and conviction. I am going to ask, for the purpose of time management, that if we have questions, we note them and keep them. We are going to take the next candidate at the end of listening to them. Then we will do the question and answer session. So we are going to take the candidate for vice president, Mr. Paul Mukoro.
Thank you all. Great UniBen. My name is Paul Mukoro. I am an honorable person from UBAAA local government, North. And I attended UniBen, studied sociology, graduated in 1986. I currently work as an information assessor. I'm a widower with kids. And I was one of the founding members of UBAAA chapter in Southern California. I'm able to say that we hosted the most successful reunion before we even became a chapter. Since then, I became the first elected chairperson of my chapter. And I have been actively involved in the growth and development of the chapter. I've attended 3 or 4 reunions. The last one was being the Dallas one that happened last year. And I'm vying for the position of vice president. I see the alumni as a very vital role within the university community. A very strong alumni should be what we all should strive for, where our voice will hold sway with the university. We all understand and we all know about the role alumni play in colleges out here. There's a joke amongst me and our friends that alumni is here. When the alumni sneezes, the university administration catches cold. And that's because of the strength and the involvement of the alumni in the running of the colleges. We have not been able to play that role in our colleges back home. And I believe that we can leverage the information and knowledge we have gotten over here to bring to bear on university authority and that help direct university direction we want it to be. We should not just be a networking organization, but we should be an organization that can actually propose and direct the actions of the university in light of our present reality in the world. So I see us as a group that, like the presidential candidate said, that will have mutual respect for one another, have respect for our constitution and bylaws, and at most, or at least make the General Assembly, our General Assembly, to be the most powerful organ of the Alumni Association, such that no matter what the ESCO does, the General Assembly has the final say. That way, we carry everyone along. Everyone's voice will be heard. We will not have an alumni that allows for people to be insulted, bedeviled, and just call names without any ramification. Because I believe that an alumni association of a college should be way above board. Here will not be acting like hooligans and getting physical at meetings. I want us to be able to grow, and I will support the vision expressed by the presidential candidate to grow into a very strong alumni organization. And by the way, I was one of the founding endowment committee member. I was secretary of the endowment committee. And we, as a secretary of that committee, I played a very vital role to strengthen that committee until we left office. I also look forward to playing a major role in that and helping committees and chapters to grow and hear their concerns and be able to prefer solutions to whatever issues they have. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wonderful, for the big vision and reinforcing commitment to some of the things that the presidential candidate spoke to.
Oh, now that I opened this.
We will now go to the next candidate for secretary, Ms. Pauline.
I'm trying to get Ms. Pauline's attention. Ms. Pauline, if you can hear me, could you silence the noise in your background? I've tried to unmute you, and would you kindly come on video? Thank you. Ms. Pauline?
Yes, I'm here. I'm coming.
If you will come on video, we can spotlight you. Thank you.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Okay. Just give me. I'm at work, so I'm trying to get this place comfortable for us. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. Sorry, I'm at work actually. Good evening, everyone. Great evening. My name is Pauline Inebedim. I live in Richmond, Texas. I live in Richmond, Texas. I presently work as a psych nurse. I graduated from University of Benin, 1996. I studied political science and public administration. While I was a student in UNIBEN, I happened to be the vice president of my association, political science and public admin, in 1994. I came to the US about 25 years ago. Where I'm here, I'm a registered nurse. I'm a psych nurse to be precise. I'm married with 2 children, 25 and 40 years old. I've been a member of this great association, the Houston chapter, from the day it started. I was their PRO for about 6 years, up until last year. The reason why I want to vie for this position as Secretary General is because I believe in transparency, I believe in uniformity, I believe in accountability, I believe in an association where every voice is heard and given opportunity to speak. I believe in an association where we are all one, we all graduated from University of Benin first before the association started. The reason I'm vying for the position of Secretary General is that I know one of the responsibilities is to make sure that the General Assembly is started on time, information is being disbursed to everybody, and I will be able to make sure that I prepare and distribute the agenda of the association on the minutes before the meeting starts. So I'm looking forward to working with everybody. This is actually the first time I'm going to be a secretary, to be very honest. But I know with the help of each and every member, be attentive and punctual in an everyday meeting, I should be able to do my duties carefully. With all that being said, and I'm also ready to uphold to the constitution of the association, where nobody is being intimidated, everybody is given an opportunity to speak their mind, everybody is given the opportunity to tell us how to move the meeting forward, where an Indian man who schooled at University of Benin can be allowed to vote and to be voted for without being intimidated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pauline. That was good. It's very reassuring that you spoke to providing minutes and agenda of meetings prior to the meeting itself. There's no question that singular step is going to help a great deal. Thank you very much for putting yourself forward for service. We will take the next candidate, candidate for treasurer.
I have spotlighted Kingsley.
Oh, Kingsley Eru? Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
Yes, he is there. If he will kindly unmute. Is this the correct person?
Yes.
Welcome.
Hello, good evening.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Otaniwa Kislinero. Good evening, everyone. My name is, sorry, the call is coming to my phone. My name is Otaniwa Kingsley Ero. I reside in San Diego, California. I'm married, not kid yet. I was the I graduated from University of Benin 2014-15 session. I studied electrical electronics engineering. I was one time secretary of LFO NOESA,
I was one time Director of Welfare, National Association for Edo State student. I was also one time Director of Welfare, National Union of Benin student. I moved into United States 2019. Presently, I'm working as electrical electronics engineer with General Dynamics Information Technology. I've been a member of UBAAA since I came in here, but due to what is going on, I ceased to exist that membership until SOCA arrived to this update. I'm vying for the position of a treasurer, and I want to make sure that proper recording and finance is well taken care of. That's the reason why I'm vying for this position. Thank you.
You're muted, Dr. Bob. Unmute yourself. Dr. Egbe, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kingsley Ero. We will take the next candidate, and the candidate for Financial Secretary.
At this time, I'm spotlighting Ms. Amaka also.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we
Good
can.
evening, everyone. And my name is Amaka Nwosu. I am actually from Anambra State. I currently reside in New Jersey. I work for the state of New Jersey Judiciary Department. And I have 2 children. The reason, I don't know what to say. I wouldn't want us to think that we know who we are. All of us vying for these positions, we don't know who we are until we are given power. Power has a way of defining an individual. And until we know who we are, who we think we are, any position we find ourselves in will redefine us. I was a member of New Jersey, New York, New Jersey chapter, and I left them when I realized how toxic it was. When I was able to get in through Obi, my friend, was the one that introduced me to UBAAA, and I became a member of New Jersey, New York chapter. And soon after that, I had some situation with the present president then. I don't know if she's still the president. And I needed to address the toxic nature of that association that I realized was bad. And they wouldn't listen to me, so I excused myself. So as I speak now, I am not a member of any chapter, but I attended the, what do you call it? The yearly UBAAA association, the one we had in Chicago and the one in Texas. And we all know what happened in Texas. But what happened in Texas would not have happened if people in that ESCO, if they told themselves the truth. We may think it's only about Alex, but it's not about Alex. It's about every member of that ESCO that refused to call a spade a spade. So today we are where we are today, and we are in a new chapter. But what happened in that old chapter can always happen again if we don't call a spade a spade. And the earlier we call a spade, the better for us. So I am vying for the position of financial secretary because 90% of the time, the problem that every association disintegrates, so to speak, is actually always about money, if you would agree with me. And I can assure you that nothing ugly will happen to our money on my watch. I love everything the president said, or the person vying for the president, Ife. Mr. Ife, right? I loved everything he said. But things are better said. They are easier said than done. And until we get to the point where we know that the doing part of anything we're saying is the hardest part, then we will be able to move forward as an association. I want us to know that whatever we're doing, there are people that are looking up to us, students of the University of Benin. Our alma mater must be the propelling force behind every action we take. Anything we're doing, anything we're saying, let us remember that had it not been for the University of Benin, we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't come together as a body. We wouldn't be meeting. We wouldn't be fighting. We wouldn't be saying this is wrong or this is right. It's always for Uniben. And at the end of the day, our actions, our decisions, our perceptions, whatever it is we do, let Uniben benefit our actions. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ms. Amaka. No question, it will be very reassuring to have a financial secretary that guarantees upfront that our monies will be safe. It is nice to know that we can remove that from the list of potential problems, a candidate like you in place. I would like to announce that we, some reason, the opportunity to get across or confirm the exact candidate for Assistant Secretary General. We have tried to reach behind the scenes via telephone and stuff. We are not able to reach that candidate at this time. And by reflex, that also means that that position remains open. But so that we don't waste time, if there's anyone who is going to be considering it, please start thinking through it. If by the time we get through the question and answer session, anybody here feels that they want to put themselves to office, that will be fine. If we don't manage to get that candidate in today, we will do a by-election and down the road for that position. So we will go on now to the, please again, if there's anybody who want to consider running for that position, please let us know as we move along. We will go now to the question and answer sessions. We are going to ask that your questions should be directed at the candidate or candidates, should be as brief as possible, and the reaction time also should be as brief as possible, so we can stay within the time frames that we are looking at. So the floor at this time is open to all members for questions.
I'm sorry, raise your electronic hand so we can identify, recognize you. I see Miss Chizoba has her hand up. Mr. Egme.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, please let her go on.
You're unmuted.
Okay, thank you.
I unmuted her. I don't know what happened.
While we are waiting for her, if there's anybody else with any questions, please, let's have it. Just indicate by raising your hands and you'll be recognized to speak. We'll give it another 2 minutes. If there are no questions, we are going to immediately go into the elections. Again, if anybody is thinking through it and thinks that they want to be able to serve as Assistant Secretary General, we'll be glad to let you address us at this time.
Dr. Bob, I think we can, maybe we should go to the election, right?
Thank you very much. I will do that, Mr. Chair. We will immediately do the elections at this time, and all we want to do is tick yes or no for each particular candidate that will be displayed. Because again, it is very, very possible that we, even though there might be one person, this association might decide that they don't want that person. It just means that the slot remains open. So it is important to vote yes or vote no as we go on. I will ask the moderator to the voting platform so people can go ahead. One man, one vote, please.
Okay, so I'm going to create the poll while we're all able to see the transparent system. I am going to share my screen and we will create a brand new poll with the name of each candidate. I'm about to share my screen. Okay. Just give me a minute. So here we go. And just to make sure that we're all part of the process, this is titled Voting Miss Dr. Egbe, should I put all the names at once?
Whatever will be quick and convenient.
Okay. So we'll put the names at once and people can say, yes, so choice one, this is multiple choice. So choice one, we have Ife Ekwo Nife for president. Two, we have Paul Omokoro for vice president. Three, we have Pauline Ine Bedion for Sec Gen. And we're going to skip we're skipping the assistant Sec Gen, and we're going to do,
at this time, yes.
Yes. Kingsley Arrow, is that correct?
Otaniwa Kingsley Arrow.
Okay. Otani Uwa Kingsley Arrow for treasurer. And then the last but not the least, we have Amaka Mosu for financial secretary. And this is
Take care.
okay. I'm about to launch the poll. Before I do so, for those of you that currently are co-hosts, I am going to go ahead and withdraw the co-host capability from everyone so that you can vote. Are the candidates allowed to vote for themselves as well?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we will withdraw co-host permission. Withdraw co-host permission. Okay, I believe we have everyone able to participate at this time. And so I am going to go ahead. We have 42 persons. Cooper, we need to know your last name. Cooper, we need to know your last name in order for you to participate. Awele A, I need a last name. Awele A, rename yourself. Cooper, rename yourself. Who else? T-Warby, what's your last name? Can you just go ahead and I'm going to unmute at this time so that those of you that don't have your name correct, just go ahead, unmute and talk to me. T-Warby, what's your last name? I will.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you tell me your first and last name?
Easy Wobi. Tonia is the first name. Tonia.
Okay.
Tonia.
I got you.
And then Iwobi is the last name.
Okay, got you. So this is Tonia.
Yeah, Tonia. Capital T, big T.
Okay. So everyone, for the records, we need to know
Iwobi.
Yes.
Chicago. I'm from Chicago chapter.
Thank you. For the records, we need to know everyone who participated, and we need to make sure that you are well identified. Awele A, what is the A for Awele? Awele A, what is your last name? I'm going to remove anyone that we cannot fully identify. Awele, what is your last name? You are able to unmute.
A-N.
Uh-huh.
Y.
Mm-hmm.
A.
Mm-hmm.
N.
Mm-hmm.
H. U-N.
Thank you. I believe everybody else is correctly identified. And so, Dr. Igbe, should I proceed and launch the poll?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we are going to launch the poll at this time. Check on your devices and you will see a bubble next to the names, and you just need to check that bubble. The poll has been launched. We invite everyone to go ahead at this time and vote.
Can we vote for multiple or just one?
No, you're voting for every office, all the offices. We said to save time.
I figured that, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just an indication you're ratifying.
Okay.
You're ratifying the slate that has been presented.
Okay.
We have 42 persons. We're still waiting on those who have not voted.
Okay, you have 41 because that includes facilitator makes it 42. So there are 41 people to vote.
Yes, sir. 87% have participated so far.
The candidates can vote for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, we already did a virtual.
We're waiting on those who are yet to place their votes. I believe we are waiting on 3 more persons, if you will. Dr. Egbe, you have to unmute your, okay, you're unmuted, but we can barely hear you, Dr. Egbe.
Yeah, the polls will close in 1 minute.
We're waiting on three more persons.
In another 30 seconds, we are going to assume that the other people who are not voting are abstaining.
Going. At this time, we are closing the polls, and if the secretary would like to make a note of the results, we actually have 100% participation. I see 38 of 38 for the president's position. We have 37 out of 38 persons who voted. Affirmed his nomination, and that's 97%. For the vice president, Paul Umukoro, we have 100%, 38 out of 38. For Pauling, we have 37 out of 38, 97%. Otaniyiwa Kingsley, we have 37 out of 38, that's 97%. Amaka Nwosu, we have 37 out of 38. At this time, I'm going to end the poll, and these are the official results.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. Congratulations to those people who have just been elected as the first executive members of University of Benin Alumni Association in America. Mr. Ife Kwenife was voted in for president. Mr. Paul Umukuru was voted in as vice president. Ms. Pauline Negbedion as secretary general. Mr. Kingsley Ero as treasurer, and Ms. Amaka Nwosu as Financial Secretary. Thank you very much indeed. I revert to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Dr. Egbe, for that. I believe that our next, could you put back the agenda, please? Yes, I think after the elections, there is a need to oath taking. I think I saw it in the other agenda. Are you spotlighting the agenda? There's a hand that is up. Mr. Paul Mukoro.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I know the election is over, but there was a question that was posted on the chat for the president-elect. I don't know if you want to answer that question. It would be nice because it's a pertinent question.
Okay, what I would then say is that after the swearing in, the president can make a statement on behalf of the new ESCO, and he can address that. Sorry that we can keep this as still part of Agenda 6 item. It needed just 2 more lines, sub-bullet points there, which would be, or maybe we'll put them in 7, since it was not listed in the adopted agenda. But first, we need to have
I beg your pardon. It's actually their oath taking is under number 6C, elections, voting, oath taking.
Okay, yeah, I thought I saw it, and I was referring to something I have here. You're right. So we need the oath taking, and after that, the president could address the House one more on behalf of the committee, and maybe he can speak to the question posted by Dr. Chizoba Worodi, and what she said is, I can't say that, but I think that is something about given the circumstances of the birth of the UBAAA, how would you, what would be your strategy for growing the membership of the association? Do we have the script of the oath? And if we do,
it is in the chat. It's been posted in the chat area.
Right. I would invite, is Tim Mosier there, Dr. Tim Mosier, to administer this oath?
All right, so thanks again, Chair. Is this supposed to be done individually or as a group?
Done as a group. Each person will call their name.
Okay, so let's start with the
You can do it individually. Yeah, do it individually, yes.
Okay. So for the position of the president, Mr. Ife Ekunife, if you please repeat after me. You need to unmute yourself. Ife Ekunife.
Ife Ekunife.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the University of Benin Alumni Association in America.
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the University of Benin Alumni Association in America,
and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the association,
and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the association.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Now we move on to the Vice President, Paul Lumukoro. Is he unmuted?
Yes.
If you please repeat after me. I, Paul Lumukoro.
I, Paul Lumukoro.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful.
And bear true allegiance to the University of Benin Alumni Association in America, UBAAA.
And bear true allegiance to the University of Benin Alumni Association in America, UBAAA.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the association.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the association.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Paul Lumukoro. Thank you for your willingness to serve. And who is next on the list?
Miss
I'm sorry?
Miss Pauline Inegbedion, and she needs to please put on her video.
Okay, Miss Pauline Inegbedion, please.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. If you please repeat after me. I, Pauline Inegbedion.
I, Pauline Inegbedion.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance.
I solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the University of Benin Alumni Association in America, UBAAA.
To the University of Benin Alumni Association in America.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the association.
And that I will preserve and protect and defend the Constitution of the association.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Pauline.
Thank you, sir.
And so moving right along, who do we have next?
Kingsley Iro Otani, you are Kingsley.
Okay, Kingsley, are you unmuted?
Yes, sir.
All right. I, Kingsley Ero.
I, Kingsley Ero.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the University of Benin Alumni Association in America, UBAAA.
To the University of Benin Alumni Association in America, UBAAA.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the association.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the association.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Then congratulations, Kingsley.
Thank you, sir.
And then we have next on the list.
Amaka Nwosu.
Is Amaka Nwosu unmuted and on video?
Just a minute, please. She will be at this time. Yes, she is.
Okay. If you please repeat after me, Amaka. I, Amaka Nwosu.
I, Amaka Nwosu.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance.
That I'll be faithful and bear true allegiance.
To the University of Benin Alumni Association in America, UBAAA.
To the University of Benin Alumni Association in America, UBAAA.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the association.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the association.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Amaka. And now we have all the executives duly sworn in. Congratulations to all of them. And we wish you Godspeed and God's blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you very much. Before we go to ALB, I would then invite the president of inaugural president of the University of Benin Alumni Association in America, Ife Ekunife, to have an acceptance speech on behalf of the new ESCO, and then maybe talk to what Dr. Chizoba Wonodi had put in the chat.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Members of the board of directors, thank you for your tenacity, your unwavering belief in the principles of justice and fairness, your resolve to do the right thing, notwithstanding the associated individual and collective cost. For all that you have done to bring us to this position, we thank you. With gratitude and humility, we acknowledge this opportunity to be of service to this new association. And we accept our positions in the inaugural executive committee of the equally new University of Benin Alumni Association in America. I believe I speak for the entire ESCO when I say we understand what we have been elected to do here today. This is not a call to auspicious accolades. It is not a reason for self-promotion. It is simply a call to service, a journey to spring and grow UBAAA from infancy and transform it into a superior, respectable brand. To the new ESCO, I say this: the road ahead will be challenging, so do expect obstacles, perhaps some distractions. But through it all, you must stay the course with determination and zeal. Undeterred, unwavering, believing always that we will persevere in our pursuit of the ideals that will make UBAAA a great, if not the greatest, alumni association. Fellow UBAAA members, you have spoken. You have mandated a way forward, a new path that requires a great deal of work, a great deal of outreach. And for this association to grow, for this association to stand the test of time, every stone that goes into building it, every stone upon which the foundation will rest, must come from you, the owners, you, the stakeholders. That is to say, those who stand to benefit from its successes or lose from its failures. Every member must not only be part of deciding what materials, components, laws, checks and balances, etc., goes into creating the framework for the association, but every member must be part of erecting the building itself. The work we have to do are numerous. I've already mentioned some of them. They will require a great deal of time and personal sacrifices. I do not need to restate what those actions are going to be, but in the coming months, weeks and months, you will be seeing them. But we promise and pledge to treat every member the way we want to be treated, with respect and dignity. We will have to start with a constitution and bylaw that is comprehensive, one that leaves no room for ESCO members. And I may be speaking directly to the financial secretary here. I understand your concerns, but I do believe that if we have a comprehensive constitution that leaves no room for members to behave as if they are demigods, to act with impunity. And in the event that we do, we'll ensure that there are checks and balances. In the event that they do, we'll ensure there are checks and balances in place that are written into the document to mitigate such actions. We are all going to be equal under this dispensation, and every opinion and proposal will be taken into consideration. Every member here will have one vote, and one vote only. And we will ensure that our transactions are free of undue influences. We must ensure that this inaugural ESCO is not only transparent and accountable, but ensure that all future ESCOs are held to the same standards. Because in the end, executive committees serve and will always serve at the pleasure of the General Assembly, not the other way around. Beyond drafting a constitution, we must come up with acceptable practices, processes, and procedures, responsible and dynamic social media presence. We must put in place machinations for growing our membership. And that speaks directly to the question that was posed earlier. I believe that when you have an association where there is mutual respect, where there is a responsible and respectable social media presence, where there is a dynamic and interactive website, where there is benefit provided to its members. Because the question has always been, every time we've tried to set up a membership and growth committee, the question that we've always encountered has always been, what can your association do for me? It is not enough for me to come in and give you my dues. What do I get in return? So we must ensure that we have things in place that are going to be of benefit to our new members. Beyond drafting the constitution, there are so many things that we still have to do. We thank you in advance for your congratulatory messages, but we implore each and every one of you, please, to come on this journey with us, to offer to serve on a committee or two, to pay your dues as and when due, to be proactive with your help and support without waiting to be called upon. So in the next few weeks and months, we will be liaising with members and stakeholders. We'll be conducting polls and seeking inputs that will be incorporated into a roadmap that hopefully will lead us to the new dawn, the one we so urgently desire. I implore you to do your part in helping us achieve our goals, because this is a journey that we cannot afford to lose. And I believe that with your help and support, we will succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, President Ekwunife. At this point, we are in AOB, and I see there's a chart, and this is for moving forward. When are we going to create a UBAAA WhatsApp platform? Chief Alo, may I request that there is a transition here from organizing this association from the board to the EXCO, and I would like that we leave that for maybe the next meeting, and the EXCO would probably have plans of how to run the organization. So I think it would be a bit premature to have them answer that question, and it would also not be right for the present board to proffer an opinion. So it's something that the ESCO would need to note moving forward. When are we going to create a new UBAAA WhatsApp platform for that? So if you have thoughts about it when you've had your inaugural meeting, and then whenever you invite us, then you can put this as part of what you would want to do. I'm saying
if you don't mind, if I may say a word about that real quick. I am going to be meeting with members of the new ESCO to come up with some of these way forward. As with regards to the WhatsApp group, I believe we have one now with a few hundred members. Ultimately, we're going to think about whether or not it is easier for us to rename and rebrand what is already out there, as opposed to creating a new one from scratch. Obviously, we're going to have multiple groups, maybe two, one business and one general. One that is out there now that is UBAAA Business Forum, I believe, is under our charge. We can take control of that and simply rename it. Again, this is not an ESCO that is going to act in a vacuum. Everything we talk about, every decision we make is going to be carefully talked about and the decision made by all the members of the ESCO. So that is one option we're actually thinking about and considering. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then I can see that Kingsley Momodu said that his hand is raised. Oh, no, before that, sorry. Amaka Wosu, our financial secretary, said that she would like to say something regarding building our membership.
So can I say, am I given the floor now?
Yes, please.
All right. When it comes to membership, I know that our new president will do his best. However, I believe in quality over quantity. We witnessed one person giving a university $1 billion. Now, what we want is not just any Tom, Dick, and Harry to be a member of UBAAA. We saw how that played out in the last association, when all manner of individuals were in Texas with their ugly behaviors. Now, what we are looking for in this new dispensation is not just anybody. We want the best of the crop. We want the cream to be part of this. So as we are driving to get people to join us, we just don't want anybody. Just as we don't want anybody to be our friends, we don't want just because somebody went to University of Benin does not mean that they have the character or the integrity rather of character or the personality or the decorum, so to speak, to be a member of this new chapter. So as we are driving, we don't want everybody to get in our bus. That's where I stand. And that's what my prayer will be, that whoever will want to come on board with us will be the type that will add. If somebody is coming to join an alumni and they are living in the United States and they're asking, what is this association going to do for me? That's a funny question, because had it not been for University of Benin, I wouldn't even be working where I am working today. So I think University of Benin has done enough for me. The question is, what am I bringing to the table to pay back, to give back to my alma mater? And that should be the kind of people who would be looking for to join us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that contribution and reassurance. We definitely need quality alumni in the body. Still, also, there's also strength in numbers. I would, and yeah, we we just hope that we get the best and people who are committed to lifting the alma mater up. I will then invite Dr. Kingsley Mamodu. He wanted to make a contribution under AOB.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Good. This is a very, very good day. And today, I am proud. Today, I am happy because I see why it is important to stand for something. I've listened to our new leaders, and like I've always said, leadership roles need to be filled with competent people. And there's no doubt in my mind that this team is just an exciting team. You know, I have listened to you guys. You guys have spoken. You have inspired me. I've never been this inspired in a very long time. And as you were speaking, my head was working. I was like, what problems will this new team have? I know you need a website. So I will give my widow's mite of $2,000 to particularly for the website for this organization. We need a website. So I'll give $2,000 to that, specifically for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kibo. Thank you very, very much for that foundational. Is there any other AOB? I can see that two people raise their hand. First, I'm seeing John Kadiri, and then there is also Tim Mosier. John, please.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I would like to congratulate the new ESCO of UBAAA, and as the inaugural president of UBAAA knows, being from our soon-to-be extinguished UBAAA chapter, say congratulations, as well as to Paul Umukoro. Those are the two people I know personally. But the reason I actually raised my hand is to inquire from Engineer Rumudaka. You're still based out in Nigeria, correct?
In both places. I'm in Nigeria. And I have my house in. I live in America. I work in Nigeria.
Right. Reason I'm asking is just to express my appreciation, depending on where you've been able to join us all through the process of being the chair of the caretaker committee. If you've been in Nigeria, I say thank you because of the time difference, being able to be with us in those times, and also to the other members of the caretaker committee for bringing us to where we are today. Your effort is sincerely appreciated from your time in UBAAA as well. So thank you very much to everyone, and also just throw my heart out there that even though I'm a kingmaker, so to speak, I work best from the background. The ESCO has my support. I appreciate what Ms. Nwosu has brought to the table, as well as to Ms. Pauline as the treasurer, and to the other members of the ESCO as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the kind words and support. Okay, so I will, Tim Mosier.
Yeah, thank you so very much. I just wanted to join Mr. Kadiri in thanking members of the caretaker committee for holding the reins through this transitional period. But again, most importantly, to thank the new executive. The road ahead is going to be arduous, but I'm sure that you have the quality support of members of this association. We will give you every support that's needed. It's all about quality and participation. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank everyone present here today for being here. And you could be doing something else. Just the fact that you are here is very uplifting. And words alone cannot express how much I appreciate everybody who is present today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And there's a chat here that says, congratulations to the new ESCO and thank you, Caretaker Committee, for bringing us here today. That's from Mary Bible. I believe that we've exhausted the what we have on the agenda, and I want to join Timosia, who is part of the board, and everyone who had spoken, John Kadiri, people who have put their thoughts on the chat, and for everyone for being around. I think at the end of the day, we're on a new journey, and the conviction, doing the right thing is very important, because once you begin to give way to impunity and injustice, it festers. The idea that we could wait 2 years or do any other thing is injurious. Nigeria is in a very bad place. I operate here, and on a day-to-day basis, we see what is happening. People are fleeing from Nigeria, not to look for greener pastures. They're just looking for brown pastures where they can retire because of security, because of things. And this is how it starts. You know, the leadership begins to go down, and we cannot all reside and be part of a system that is very efficient, forget it has its own challenges, and then willingly close our eyes to something evil. So I want to congratulate everyone, all the people who are on this call and other people in absentia who have worked with us but may not have been present today. We thank them and believe that the goodwill will get to them. Once again, I want to thank everyone for making it. And our last item on the agenda will be an adjournment. This adjournment will be moderated by the fact that we might not have a date for the next meeting. We would leave that to the ESCO to meet and then invite us for their own next meeting. So we will ask for an adjournment, and I think that this adjournment will just be slightly different. It will just say until when the new ESCO decides to invite the House. On that note, I would, barring any other thing, ask someone to move a motion for an adjournment.
Can I say that there needs to be a time frame to give them to call for the next meeting? Because telling them call for a next meeting, would it be within a month, 2 months? This is one of those things that I like in any meeting.
Who is speaking? Who is speaking?
My name is Amaka Nwosu. When you say to leave it to the new ESCO to call the next meeting, within a month, within 2 months, within, you know what I mean? Is there a time frame?
So that's a motion. It's not a question for me. I mean, we can put it.
The one that says that that the adjournment should be said in
Yeah,
such
so
a
if you're amending the motion, that's why I said, is there anybody moving the motion? So if you're moving the motion with an adjournment that you think that it should be with 2 weeks or 3 weeks, that is fine, and then some other person can either second it or even seek a further amendment to that. So yes, there's a value in there's some value to have a time so that it's yeah.
I think our president wants to say something.
Yeah, thank you. As far as adjourning to a definite date is concerned, I will refrain from setting a time today. We have a lot to do in the next couple of weeks. I believe it is really not feasible for us to set a time at this meeting. As soon as we know when such a meeting can hold, we'll reach back out with the announcement. Dr. Momo, I want to thank you for that contribution. It's going to go a long way in helping us with the website. I just wanted to mention real quick that this morning I was browsing and I found that UBAAA.org was still out there for anybody perhaps who was intent on, creating some mischief. So I picked it up and I registered it for 5 years. So we have that secure.
Nice.
Thank you.
That was Dr. Federer, good evening. I just saw you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you? I've been here throughout the call.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. All right. So we need to move a motion for an adjournment. And just to moderate things, I think what the financial secretary was suggesting is a time limit and not a date, but that's fine. Yeah, so that it says within the quarter, within 3 months, or whatever could be an outer band. And I think that in all essence, while we don't want to fix a time, you don't also want to just leave it. It's not that we do not trust that the people, but I think it's just in the principle of and this happened also during the EGA when we were having that meeting and someone insisted on having a date, and then we had an outer date of December 9th for the next meeting. So, but I just expressed to say that I understand, but someone needs to move a motion for this adjournment, and then we'll see whether to the best of efficiency that we concluded a very important milestone inaugural meeting within 2 hours of calling it to order. Yes, Obi Moneke.
Moving for adjournment, sir.
Okay. Obi Moneke moves for the adjournment of the meeting. I can see just Allah.
Hold on, let's see if I have a. Yeah, seconded.
Thank you. With that, the meeting has been adjourned. And once again, I thank everyone. Facilitator, at this moment, there is no need to continue to record. Let the great Uniben banter as they wish. Thank you very much.
At this time,
Great.